So, um, hello again. Sure, that last video was, if you took the time to watch it, and thank you if you did. Um, Surprising. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But today, I want to um, speak on one of the many ways God's transformed me. And like, they're all the same in this way. I didn't do it. I can't take credit for it. I didn't do the work. I I received something that I didn't earn. And it was mercy, and it was kindness, and it was you know something that I'm truly grateful for. Okay? So, substance abuse. Um, my flesh ruled me for a long time, and I'm not here to say that I've got everything. I've got my flesh under control. You know, things still tempt me from time to time, um, but it's different now. It's different because God has empowered me, and I can remember well after having a strong encounter, or the first encounter that I had with God, which was my original video from like a year ago. Um, and I was snorting a lot of pain pills and a lot of uh, cocaine, Adderall, um, just kind of well, we called it a concoction. That's what we would call it. And it gave me a false sense of happiness. Um, anyway, I couldn't stop. I wanted to stop. And I think this is true for anyone who gets to this point. You realize you're in a prison, like it's a prison of your own making, but it's a prison all the same. And I couldn't get out. I, I just I just couldn't get out. And at the same time, I'm having these um, outstanding revelations being shown to me. And as I said before, I don't want you to be predisposed to think that those substances created this, because they didn't. Um, they may have allowed some of the trickery to happen that happened, um, but God was in control the whole time, as He is in your life. Um, I can remember in the early stages of my walk with God, um, you would think there would be like this condemnation, there would be this something. I mean, something, anything, chastisement. There'd be something, but really, it was me. I was very mean to myself. I You can't call me anything close to what I can call myself. Um, and it wasn't helpful. It's not helpful for you to look down on someone. What they really need is love, and that's all they need. They are searching for something to fill a hole in them. Now, the truth is, God is what can fill that hole. So pray for them and be there for them and love them. That's all you can do. I'm not saying give them money. I'm not saying to enable them. That's not what I'm saying. You can be there for them without enabling them. Now, having said that, I again I couldn't stop, and it took me a while to want to stop. I think, even though it's weird, it's a weird relationship that you develop with these with drugs and alcohol or whatever. Whether maybe you shop, maybe you get depressed and you go buy a bunch of stuff and your house is full of crap that you don't need, or whatever the situation is. Um, None of it was God's plan for me, as far as what his dreams for my life. Okay, so what was meant for evil, he's using for good, and I hope that this is in a way one of those ways that he uses it for good, because I would I was praying even sometimes while I was doing it, that he would take it away, and I remember like crying while I was doing it. Um, saying I don't deserve these things that you're this forgiveness. I don't. Let me prove it to you, or I can prove it to you as I'm, just continuing, and it was very hard for me because I was seeing people that were freed from this, and and it seemed like, okay, well, once God saves you, you're a new person. The old ways of you die, and you're a new person. And in a lot of ways, that was true immediately, but there were a lot of ways it wasn't, and that was very hard for me to understand. And he was right on time when he came through. Um, I wanted off of him, but I wasn't willing to do the work. I was I was afraid. I didn't want to go through the withdrawal because I had been through it for other reasons, and I didn't want to go through that again. Um, and I prayed that he would take it away, that he would take the desire away, because even if I stopped, that desire is the thing that I really couldn't beat. Even because, if for whatever reason you have to do without, once you get through the withdrawal, you're like, oh, I don't ever want to go through that again. And then at your first opportunity, you jump right back in, and that had happened to me, and I didn't, and I knew my propensity to do that again. I did. So I prayed not that he would just take it away, but that he would take the desire away. And the desire was key. And God was faithful. And I tell you, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen over a weekend. All of a sudden, I realized I'm not doing that anymore. What? What happened? And that's hard to understand. I don't even get it at this point. It just became less and less and less until it was nothing. And you have to understand how bizarre that is, because your body, your flesh will crave this stuff on a way that's insane. You can't. I couldn't beat it. There are some people that just, I don't know how they do it, but they do. There's people that go to rehab, and there's all those things, whatever. But I'm telling you this: God can fix you. God can fix you. He can. He can. There's not a limit to what He can do. There's no limit. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, and you truly want to get out, you should pray. You should pray and pray and pray. And here's the thing about a relationship with God: once you surrender to Him, and you surrender everything, like I was surrendered, but at the same time I was trying to, I didn't want to be half in, half out. I don't really know how to say this. Um, God will make a way for you. I know that to be true. Um, when this happened, I'm not going to get into exactly how I have these visions, how He shows me things visually, but I will try to describe to you what I saw. I saw a person. Well, I saw several people, and they were like in a cages, and these cages were like the shape of an egg, but they were only like half, um, and they were like iron cages, and you were just in there, and you had these beasts kind of walking around, and they had this very arrogant but yet hungry look on their face, like they were going to devour you. And all of a sudden, a look of terror came on their face, and they all turned around and they looked up, and the sky was black, everything was dark, and it just cracked open, and a man on a horse was coming down, and he was coming to release me from that prison, and there was nothing they could do about it. And he released me. He walked me right out, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And I want that for you, if that's your situation. So I thank you for listening, and I pray this helps you. God bless.